Thank you for joining me. Your host is Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo, and it is Wednesday night. This background is getting sadder and sadder as I pull things off my wall. But make sure you guys are liking, following, and subscribing. Who knows where I'm going to wind up in the next few months with this show. Always grateful to have you guys here. Remember, today is Supernatural Story Time. Every week, we bring on a different guest with something phenomenal, inspirational, and maybe make the impossible seem possible. So, get the kitties, get the husband, get the wife, get the popcorn. Y'all know we popping it off. Let's do it.
It's paradise inside of our hearts. It feels so nice to pray in the dark. Beings of light, see who you are. 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 See who you are.
Hola, hola, hola. Hi, seekers. Make sure you guys are bringing your water, your high quality H2O. Big advocate of water, big fan. You guys know this is not a passive viewing experience that you guys will be encountering today, but one where your energy will be shifting. We're going to be bringing in the angel numbers to give you something to be inspired for the rest of the week, as well as a supernatural story time. And towards the end of the feed, we're going to be doing your horoscope midweek collective energy check in, rather, and check what the forecast is for the rest of the week. And before we jump into all of that, I brindo to you guys, to your health, wealth, and prosperity. Mhm. And if you guys want to be a guest on this show and bring your own supernatural story time to elevate, inspire, and motivate, please email me here. Divine Encounters at e360tv.com. And then we can collab together, of course. Super excited for today. And if you would like to work with me, make sure you guys check me out here, not there, here at oracleofapollo.com as your energy spiritual coach. You guys can do sessions with me, alchemical tattoos with me, as well as get readings and coaching with me. All right, let's bring on my guest for today. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into our angel number for today. So make sure you guys get a beautiful Divine Encounters. Welcome to Miss Miranda, and make sure that if you're watching this on the replay, which I know you guys are, hashtag seekers replay, let me know that you're here. I would love to see your beautiful names scroll across that screen and send all the love to us. Okay, so let's do it. Hello, my beautiful friend.
Hello, beautiful.
I'm so excited to have you here just by virtue of how we met. Is actually very interesting in and of itself, and it feels like a divine encounter just by how we met. So for you guys at home, if you don't know, I had a I don't know what I did with my life last year, but I was somehow wound up in Colorado. I wound up in Colorado via a channel from a whole nother state, jumped into some car with some people I never knew, and wound up at this beautiful woman's house. And then eventually discovering who she was and how I was actually helping her organization from another space all the way in Texas months before that. Spirit be crazy. And I was just like, how did I meet her? I'm sitting at her dining room table as she comes in her own house. That was so epic. So epic. Miranda, let everybody know at home a little bit about you, what your beautiful essence brings to the earth.
Thank you, Oracle. I love you so much. I've been excited for this show ever since you were staying at my house. We said we were going to set this up and do an interview, and now it's, I don't even know, months later, because we both have so much going on in our lives, but super excited to be here and be here with you and your beautiful spirit. I love your whole show and everything that you're doing. I even love all the animations you have and the energy, the colors, everything. And when I met you, you brought a lot of beauty into my household and stayed for a little while, and just such a cosmic sister connection right from the very beginning. And still, I think we have a lot of bright future plans together into the future as well. And yeah, I own a property called the Star House in Crestone, Colorado. I bought that property um, right before COVID, so three years ago or something like that.
And it's an Earthship home.
Yeah, it's a straw bale and cob home on tires on rammed earth, and it's in the shape of a galaxy. 6 bedrooms with a dome on the top that's like our dome receiver for spiritual energy, and magnifying spiritual energy is what I feel it is. And we have a 1,500 square foot south facing greenhouse that helps pump heat into the house and helps us grow food. And yeah, it's been an amazing, I was called there synchronistically, met the man who owned it right before he was dying. So as he died, he passed it off to me and made it available for me to buy as a single mom at that time, with 5 kids. And I thought that I couldn't own my own property in my own home, and all of it happened synchronistically. So if I can do it, anybody can.
And you know what? And I had only seen these kind of houses. I'm from Philly, you guys. I'm from Philly. If you guys watch, you can tell probably from the way I speak. And we only have row home here. There's not even spaces between the houses. So like if you own even like any kind of backyard, like you are doing good in life, okay? So to have seen this house on just YouTube and watching people actually construct these kinds of homes through the internet, and then arriving somewhere where I was never expecting anything. I had no expectations. I didn't know where I was going. And then to see this like in physical space, it was just like it blew my mind to see that you're growing your own food. And the what I took away from that experience, I took a lot away from staying at your house. Actually, it gave me a lot of appreciation for electricity.
Yeah. Being off the grid, yeah.
Yes, and water. And it really changed the way I use things coming back home. I became more mindful of the usage, even if I can just always turn on my light switch. I don't now. And I actually just that little short while really programmed that and cemented it into me. Because I thought about you actually yesterday when I accidentally left the back room light on. And I said, there's people like Miranda out here sacrificing comfort for the rest of us because they understand and believe in this mission so strongly. And I forgot to turn off the light. And it was just kind of like, okay, let me go back there right now. So like I have no excuses now. Like you are this little angel that lives in my head that goes, be kinder to the planet. That's who you've become, an archetype in my world.
Aw, yeah, and that's why I moved to this house, why I moved to Crestone. I do work in the climate change space and humanitarian space. I'm one of the directors of Unify, unify.org. We put on global synchronized meditations, and I also work for Empowerment Institute. But teaching about regenerative development and climate actions that people can do, we had taken as many actions as we could as a family without actually moving into a house that's off the grid and being, really walking our talk. So I was on the search for a house that we could be fully sustainable and fully, zero zero footprint and as far as using fossil fuels and everything, but it is different. I mean, the kids have had to learn you can't, turn on you can't turn on the blender and the fridge and the washer and dryer at the same time. We have to do one at a time or two at a time. And yeah, it does make you more conscious about what we're all using all the time. And then thinking about how exponential that is with leaving lights on and just, flying, driving anywhere and just the amount of fossil fuels and pollution that we create and water we use and everything. So yeah, some beautiful, actually Native American children and elders, kind of really touched me years ago, even 10 or 12 years ago or something, with them speaking about when they're born in their culture, they're taught that we're always giving back. Like Mother Earth just gave us life and air and water. Our mother just gave us life. It's our job to always be thinking about how to give back and
Yeah.
just being in that more connected space and always being in service to the planet and to each other, and knowing when you're taking something and that you have to replace that or give back is a different way of being that we all need to adapt to. But it takes a lot of changes. I mean,
It does. It does.
it
And it
never
takes us
stops.
to vocalize that, especially being an inner city person, where yeah, it's not really even thought of. People don't really care about that kind of stuff. And it's a shame. But yeah, we do it by changing our own habits and then allowing that implementation to be seen by others and experienced by others. And then we don't force them. They see it. We lead by example by doing. And then lovingly, they also invite themselves into that space. Speaking of lovingly, I like to start off every episode before we jump into your story time with an angel number. Interestingly enough, you guys know at home, or if this is your first time watching, bienvenue. I don't ever actually know the stories that are coming through because I like to have like a real reaction, like while I'm listening. So we start off this episode with angel numbers, and today's no different. Today's angel number. So this episode is brought to you by angel number 445. And we're going to see what that angel number is. But spoiler alert, Miranda, this usually somehow correlates to your story. So let's see what it says. Okay, we got angel number 445. And here is what this number means for you all at home. An angel number is a number that comes in repetitive or repetition in our life with a numerical vibrational frequency that helps us learn about things and see things. So here we go. Angel number 445 is made up of a blend of the energies and attributes of the number 4 appearing twice, amplifying and magnifying its influences and the vibrations of the number set of the number 5. Number 4 resonates with support and stability, establishing solid foundations for the self and others, willpower and effort, ability and worthiness, hard work and achievement, success, wholeness, and inner wisdom. Number 4 is associated with our passion and drive in life and is related to the energies of the archangels. Angel number 5 brings its powerful vibrations of personal freedom and individuality, major life changes, making important choices and decisions, opportunity, non attachment, action and activity, promotion and advancements, adaptability and versatility, life lessons learned through experience and resourcefulness. Angel 445 indicates that you are being supported by the angels during the life changes you are contemplating or currently taking. The angels have influenced these changes so that you can take full advantage of the opportunities that are present to you. You are encouraged to go along with your plans, safe in the knowledge that you are being divinely and intuitively guided through each and every step. These angels are working on making current life changes smooth in transition for you and are ensuring that all goes to divine plan. Allow the angels to help and guide you along the way. Angel number 445 is a message from your angels to put your effort towards the things in your life that embrace and enhance who you truly are, your lifestyle choices, and your life in general. Be prepared to make necessary changes that will bring auspicious opportunities to advance you along your path. Trust that these changes will bring better into your life in all aspects. And that is Angel 445 for today. How do you feel about that number today?
Awesome. Yes, very synchronistic, that message. That is exactly how I feel I'm carried in my life. And it's beautiful, the numbers of 4, 4 being the stability and 5 being the change. And I do feel the balance of both of those, no matter where I'm being led. Right now, we've been visiting Puerto Rico and Costa Rica a lot too, because I know so many people and communities that are doing regenerative efforts and permaculture and building new forms of housing that don't cost very much, and putting solar on, and in Puerto Rico having solar that can also be, folded up and taken down when a hurricane's coming and then
Oh,
brought back
that's
out,
important.
and just prepping for the right things. And it's just beautiful to me to see so many spiritual people in this space that are divinely led and receiving messages from angels all the time, and then are led to people with new relationships, new properties, new opportunities, and just following the path and having faith. That's what that number is all about. And
That is literally everything. You guys know at home, I am moving to I don't know where. So this number hits me in my heart. Hits me in my heart.
yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, Miranda, we're going to do our mindfulness moment. You guys at home know #mindful if you're watching this on the replay, especially you guys, Apple TV. So we're going to check in with ourselves right now. This is going to be very brief. It's going to be literally 1 minute of breath work. We're going to check in with ourselves. We're going to come back in just 8 seconds after our check in, and we're going to just ask ourselves, where am I at in this moment from 1 to 10? 1 being this is the least amount of energy I can harbor in this body. 10, this is the most amount of energy I can harbor in this body, and a feeling word. And we're going to come right back with that. Put that in the comment section below. I feel like I'm at an 8.9 and I feel excited. That's my word today. I started to feel excited last night. So it's like poured over into today. What is your number and your word, Miranda?
I would say a 6 right now, just because we've been doing a lot of physical moving of stuff and everything, so I'm a little bit tired. But my word is gratitude, because I can just see so much in front of me that's kind of new paths, and getting to be in Puerto Rico and Costa Rica more in the warmth and what I consider to be paradise, and where my heart is so happy, even though I love Colorado so much too. But I'm very excited too, just like you. And I there's so much work ahead of me to get the house ready to not be there as much and everything, and find the right people stewarding it, or whatever all of that looks like. But
Yeah.
it's all worth it. And I feel spirit. This year's a really special year. Like I thought last year a lot of people would really start gathering again and have events after COVID was opening up, but it was pretty slow with that.
Mhm.
Still a lot of online stuff, but not a lot of in-person things. But this year it's been like I have people are asking me to be at events and speak, and
They're
like
ready this year.
twice a month now, and I'm having to like pick and choose where do I want to be and what do I want to do. But it's like energy is flowing this year, and the way that I see people working together, and so many women, I show up to these farms and everything, and a lot of times it's the women that meet me, and they're like, "This is how we built our solar, and this is how our gardens work, and this is how we do events and heal people." And I just feel I love men too, don't get me wrong, but I just feel the energy of the women like coming together, and the ability that we have to hold hands as moms, grandmas, syncing up with Mother Earth, and just doing what's needed for these next steps for the planet and for humanity.
I love that. And when you move to Puerto Rico and I come visit, I'm going to be like, hey, neighbor, you
Yeah.
know, That's how I'm like, okay, I'm coming in. I'm coming in the summer. I'm gonna come say hello. All right,
Yeah.
let's jump into this mindfulness breathing. So you guys at home, you're gonna just close your eyes and we're gonna take 60 seconds on the clock and we're gonna breathe into that angel number 445. 60 seconds on the clock. Now everybody eyes are closed, breathing in. And just breathing into any space that there's tension where that angel number didn't hit us. Maybe it's subconscious. Maybe our body wants to just move or wiggle or release a little bit here. And we're breathing into that solar plexus, into that diaphragm. We're not breathing into the chest, which is shallow but deep, profound breaths, into the belly, exhaling any tension that we may be holding, resistances, limited beliefs, limited stories, just letting that go. None of that needs to be in our space at this moment. We're just allowing new energy, new life force to take root, to take hold, and giving ourselves permission to just be. There's nowhere else to be but in this moment. Giving ourselves a word of gratitude in our heart space. Last breath, letting that go, and inviting yourself to open your eyes, coming back into the here and the now. And just taking notice of what's happening or moving or shifting in your body, seekers. And then put in the comment section below a number and a new word. And so for me, I feel bliss. That's the word I'm going to use. I feel bliss. I see my inner self like a champion that's who's already accomplished something. And she's just deconstructing the steps to that success because it's already hers. And I feel elated and happy. I have more than one word. So that's me. How about you, Miranda?
Yeah, I feel excited now since you said that word because I'm feeling that as well. The adventure of the not knowing and what's in front of us. And I feel bliss too. I was told before my name Miranda. One of my spiritual leaders before used to call me Mirananda, which means an ocean and a ray of bliss. And I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. So I do feel that too. Anytime I feel excitement, especially at the joy of helping other people or meeting other new people, I always feel bliss. So I definitely, same thing I was going to say. So, yeah.
I love it. Thank you guys. This is so important and imperative that we do this kind of work here on TV with you guys, especially if you've never experienced this before. And it's just a reminder of your day that at any point you have choice of how you want to show up. At any day you have the ability to shift your energy, shift your mindset, shift your number. Oh, did you give me a new number?
Oh, yeah, I would say it's more like an 8 this time.
So we went up a point.
Yeah.
1 minute, 1 point. I'll take it. And we're going to come, speaking of taking, we're going to take a short commercial break with our sponsor. We're going to come right back with Miranda's Supernatural Story Time just after this 1 minute break.
Basically, it's about keeping our families together.
God bless this organization.
Thank you for tuning in. I am your hostess, Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo. Shout out to It Takes a Village, our sponsor. If you would like to do something worthwhile or work with someone that is greater than yourself, in an organization, you guys can check out It Takes a Village right there in New Jersey. They're always needing assistance, helpers, and donations. And speaking of, I am on my way to Romania. You guys already know I will be supporting the Power of We Romania tour, the Hope Legacy tour. We're going to be visiting children who don't have visitors in hospitals and disenfranchised youths while we're there. And if that is something you want to help contribute to help get me there, because a girl, if y'all been following my Facebook, I've been selling everything under the sun in my house to get to this place. Y'all already know, help support the mission. We will do it together collectively and be part of something that's going to be changing lives for countless years. I know when I was very young, the Salvation Army came to our house when I was about 5 years old, and that drastically changed not just our lives, but my mother's life. So these types of organizations that show up, especially into other countries, they're much more meaningful to these kids and very impactful, and it can change a whole trajectory of a life. So if that's something you want to help with, please email me. $1 donations, $1,000 donations. Nothing is too small. Nothing is definitely too big. Help get us there to the Power of We Legacy Hope Tour in Romania for me. All right. We are here back with Miss Miranda, and she has a supernatural story time. I'm just going to let you flow and see where you want to take this story, and you can start whenever you're ready.
Well, you and I have had so many amazing discussions that led towards just seeing the synchronicities between us and so many things that a lot of people probably don't talk about or have the chance to talk about. So I would love to talk about some of those things. And one of them being mediumship, and one of the things that you do so beautifully, and helping tap into people's true essence of their soul and helping them find themselves. And this is also one of my passions as well. Both of us had kind of difficult childhoods and trying to find ourselves, though, and having our family understand who we are, what we are, and that we're not, just crazy or, that schizophrenic, even, that we can hear other spirits and sense into people's souls and healing ability and stuff. So I would just love to share some of our stories with that, and how you got to know that part of yourself and cultivate it more to be here now, and just share with people. So you don't, I feel like people are having to be scared in this bubble of not knowing who to talk to if they haven't known that their gifts are something to cultivate and not be scared of before. So
It's true because that word, just even the word schizophrenia, it's like a shutting down word. It automatically puts you in this space where it's like, okay, I'm going to be pushed out of societal norms. So now I don't even want to talk about this when this word doesn't even exist in other cultures. It's like an American thing that we have here. And my mother, when I was little, she suffered from bipolar, but they also gave her that extra label of the schizophrenia because she was able to hear and see, and really what it was her awakening, right? The dark night of the soul happening all at once with her awakening, and not knowing how to work through that or who to speak to about that. And although in the Latin culture, spirits is a very normal thing, it's like the American side of it is more like, whoa, we don't believe in that, we don't talk about that, that's kind of like a mental health thing. But when we're starting to look at Latin American countries, and even Puerto Rico included, this is very ingrained that our ancestors are with us, that their vibrational alignment is so close to the earth that we can actually communicate with them as mediums. And yeah, so tell me, Miranda, what was your initial awakening story when it came to your first mediumship experience?
Well, I'm not even sure if I can determine a first, but I do remember when I was 6 years old, pretty strong. And then when I was 11, I would tell my mom, I'm an alien that came here to work with the angels and help bring a paradigm shift. And she's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like she's like, "Well, how do you know?" And I'm like, "Well, because I talk to angels all the time, or they talk to me and kind of don't leave me alone." And I kind of thought everybody was that way, though. I thought my mom was just kind of ignoring me, but didn't want to tell me her experience with this, or she said she had a little bit of experience with this. But it wasn't until I was a teenager that I realized that not everybody is having dreams where they're visiting other planets and receiving instructions from angels and can literally hear them speaking. Um and
So
I
you hear them, you experience them audibly.
Yeah, a lot through writing especially. So I'll start, writing writing books or writing systems. I'm a systems person, and then I'll like they'll come in and like fill in different parts of it that I've missed and like literally show me diagrams of stuff and fill in parts that I need to put in. And so it's a lot like that. I wouldn't say
Is it an external, or is it like your own voice on the inside, or is there how do you differentiate for people at home?
Well, I wouldn't say I hear a different voice most of the time, but sometimes I do, and when I can tell it's a different being. But a lot of times it's my own it's just happening inside my mind, but it's things that I wouldn't think or that I just know that aren't coming from me. They're actually quite the opposite of how I would think and feel most of the time. So I'm just kind of like an observer or a receiver and then pass that information forward. Nowadays it's like almost every day I receive instructions when I'm waking up about contact this person, do this, but it all follows this path of like leading towards synchronicities and people you meet and just the path that I'm supposed to be following. I also like when I was a lot younger as well, if I put my hands on a person, I could see a bunch of things that happened in their life with trauma and where that was, like, being
Mm.
stored in their body, and now I help people to release that, but that was also something that I thought everybody did and had when I was a kid. So, it took some realizing that that is a gift that I needed to cultivate and not run from, which I did run from it for a while and was just kind of told I was so weird that I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm not gonna cultivate this for a while." Like in my early 20s, I was too scared to be me, I guess, for a
Yeah.
while. But then I realized like I'm not meant to just fit in with society everywhere either. So I need to cultivate these things, these gifts that I've been given.
What was the deciding factor of, okay, now it's time to really focus on this or integrate this? Because I feel like we really don't change until we're in a space of suffering or a lot of pain where we
Yeah.
want and now need and crave that change, and or to the point where there's so much dissatisfaction or discomfort, is what usually pushes us through the threshold of, okay, that's enough, now something has to give. So what was that moment for you?
Man, yeah. A lot of trauma in a world of denying my spiritual life and path that I should be living. And I had two failed marriages that were with abusive atheist partners. Ended up as a single mom on my own, 26 years old, and moved from Texas to Colorado to just get away and like clear the field and basically just a huge questioning. I mean, I remember laying on the floor just crying and saying, "God, I'm not getting up until you take this over because I'm sucking so bad at it and I cannot live this life for my kids or for me anymore." And I had spirit come to me really, really strong and just, fill me with love and peace and saw a connection to Jesus and just saw the future with these beautiful gardens being that had been built and cultivated and created, and the people that I saw in these visions just held this higher frequency and energy. And so I just kind of had an awakening of how do I be of service to this? How do I become who I'm supposed to be to bring what I'm supposed to on the planet? What I could see when I was a kid, what I went to other planets to visit and see advanced civilizations, but I've gotten so disconnected from it now. So I just followed the path and came back into it. I really started meditating and doing a lot of spiritual work and value stuff with my kids, and volunteering and working in the peace and interfaith world, and planting gardens and being around people that were a lot better energy that I needed to be around. And then the rest of the gifts just started to come back again. The healing,
Mm.
the hearing from angels. And I didn't realize how I had literally shut it off and just put myself in this box of like, I don't want to hear from angels. I don't believe in them. I don't talk to them. I'm not doing any of this because society said, or because I was mad at the world, sort of. I don't know. It's a combination of a lot of things when I think back on it. Like, I wanted to find so many other people like me, and a bit of it was that I was mad that I couldn't find the other people that were awake. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm just not going to be awake then.
Right. Like, do they even exist
Yeah.
at
Yeah. It
some
definitely was.
point? It's like, where are y'all? Where are y'all at? It's interesting because I know for myself is when I always felt outcast, right? So it was like, whoa, I'm this person that's just really weird, eccentric, and no one ever got me. And so during my awakening, I was bedridden for 3 weeks and I was nonverbal. And then Angel Raphael came to me. But at this point, I don't ever, because you're saying that, you were having these experiences when you're little and you saw these more advanced civilizations. But all I ever saw when I was growing up was the dark side of all of it. I saw the shadow people. I saw what some people classify as demonic energies. So everything for me was in the negative spectrum of things growing up. And so when I had got into this space in my mid 20s, and just for y'all asking, don't ask me how old I am. Don't ever ask me how old I am. But we'll just say I don't ever age 5. So in my mid 20s, I didn't believe in angels at all. And it's interesting because when I was going through my awakening, my ex-partner had gifted me a book called The Idiot's Guide Connecting with Your Angels, which was about the colors of the angels, how they convene with you. And I was not having it. It was just like, I don't even believe in this, because from my experience being, living in Chicago, Illinois, a very gang related city, moving to Philadelphia, which is actually the highest homicide city in the country, and we have an opioid pandemic in the city. I only saw the darker side of life. And to me, it was like the malevolent forces proved their existence to me over and over again. So I couldn't believe in something that was beneficial or helpful, because how could we have my friend's dad get murdered across the street from me and my best friend kill himself and all of these other bad things that happen if there's all this good that allegedly exists? The angel Raphael had came to me in a green floating orb, and the angel Chamuel had came to me as a humanoid angel. And that was through the surrender, like you had. You got to a point where it's just like, I can't do this myself anymore. And I remember crying out, if there is a God, if there is something out there that is bigger than me, then I'm here. Like, tell me, because I don't know anymore. And what I've learned from this experience is that we're led through with blind faith for a very long time. And I feel that when we get indoctrinated into particular religion, we can place ourselves in a box to stay in blind faith. But we actually graduate from having blind faith to experiential faith, where we can now go, oh, that meditation, that vision, that inclination, that intuitive hit was actually leading me somewhere. And then if I follow that breadcrumb, if I follow that somewhere, look at the beauty, look at the majesty, look at the reward of acting on my faith. And then that becomes so ingrained in us that everything else falls away. And that's what it sounds like the place that you're in is. This is the place I'm in. I have earned this place by listening, by studying, by silencing myself, by humbling myself, by allowing that energy to show and demonstrate itself to me. So what would you say to people who, and I have a TikTok, and I get all kinds of comments all the time because I talk about supernatural stories all the time. So, what would you say to those people who are placing them in the box of disbelief? Because we were both there at some point, even if it was just to some degree, different degrees for both of us.
Mhm.
But what would you say to those people who are that can't happen? Those things don't exist. That realm, those worlds, those are fabrications of your mind. Like, what would you say to those people? And we're not trying to convince anybody into, but maybe someone's curious. Maybe someone wants to open the door and had fear like you did, or ostracized, or anything like that.
Yeah, I'd say if you're feeling pushed in any way to discover more about who you are in your spiritual journey or starseed journey or any of it, just follow the path of trying faith for a while. Fake it till you make it kind of thing can actually go a long way, because in um, the perspective from a place of faith, just one little, as you were saying, show me what's real, show me that, I can have faith, and that there is truly goodness here, and that there's good people, and that spirit has our back and can help our path. Having some faith in that in the beginning, and then starting to research and starting to have an experiential path, like you're saying, start studying some texts, start doing some meditation, go do some yoga, attend an event with some spiritual people and just talk to them about their lives. Um, Looking at whatever aspect you're drawn to most. Are you drawn to trying to talk to angels, or trying to learn deep meditation and, centering your mind and yourself? Or learning about, starseed and all the different types that are out there, or learning healing modalities. I started with learning Reiki and massage and Jo Ray, and just different ones that led me to start to feel an innate deep sense that my soul knows how to sense things and heal in ways that no one was ever able to teach me. I had to tap into it myself and just pay attention to subtle energies and other people more and more. So any of the paths that you pick and follow, read some text, go to some spiritual fellowship groups, any of it will, I think, lead you on a path, as long as you're open and open-minded and aren't just shutting it off, but you're really truly curious and you grasp a little bit of faith that something else might be out there.
And
Path will
there's
lead
no
you.
wrong answer. And there's no wrong answer.
Yeah, no, everybody's so unique and different.
Some people don't resonate with angels, and they want to work with ancestors or totem animals or the earth or plants, or there's so much to dive in. And I will say that after the angels had came into my world, so because I'm sure that there are some thoughts of someone watching this on the replay is like, I don't go into that because I'm scared of her experience, my experience, right? I don't want to see all those bad things. But when we raise our vibrational frequency up to a certain level, none of those things even exist in my world anymore.
Mhm.
None of those darkness things. Since I've been doing this professionally, those things have not existed in my world, unless I was doing some kind of very intentional work to open something
Yeah.
to directly involve seeing a shadow, or breaking a generational curse, or working with a client who has spiritual infection within them,
Mhm.
and then pulling that out. So those are and it's intentional now, right? So this is the
Yeah.
permission for us to work with that energy. Because I know a few months back, I was just working with my nightmares. I invited nightmares. I don't know if y'all have never heard of doing this kind of dream work. So I'm trained as a shamanic bee, like bee shamanism. So we work with dreams, and an aspect of that is nightmares. Those are dreams. So you can invite your nightmares in and work through subconscious things in your nightmares, and then actually get a foothold on some fears or things that you're not recognizing in your awakened state. So there is no such thing as bad. It's just, once we understand it, we can then empower ourselves to bring healing to whatever direction we need to bring healing in. Because I feel like ultimately that's what this is all about.
Yep.
is gaining the understanding, gaining the healing, so that way we can be more whole, more authentic, more loving, more compassionate. Because, like you said, you could lay your hands on someone and feel their trauma. And when you can see in that way, it really opens your heart to the understanding of how much suffering is in the world, and not because we as a society go, and I'm speaking for people like in where I live, like, oh, if that person has money, they shouldn't be complaining about anything else, as if being in a higher status or class makes you immune to pain or hurt or any type of other emotions. Or seeing a soldier and going, well, he's coming back with PTSD. He knows what he signed up for. And I've heard this so many times. I'm a veteran myself. So it's like, so to see these experiences go ignored, we need to tap into more of that compassionate side. How do you feel? Do you have any strategy, exercise, or tip for someone to tap more deeply into their compassion? Like if somebody was walking away from this episode today, do you have anything that they could use immediately walking away today to just notice or feel or tap in?
Well, part of my degree is in ethics, and the study of bioethics and ethical philosophy is something that I feel every person should go through. So, in that, we learn to look at all sides of an issue or a subject, truly look at it. So, in school, we had to say take abortion or some of these bioethics issues, and you had to put yourself in the life of the mother, the father, the unborn baby, the baby that would have been born if they weren't aborted. All these, you have to literally look, and you have to say positives, negatives, the feelings they experience, what affects their life in the short term, the long term, what affects society, and look at every aspect of this issue. And you come out of it with true compassion for, how can you pick one right side or wrong side that can be blanketed as a decision over everyone? You can't. You get to a very compassionate place of saying, anyone in this situation would have a hard time, a hard decision, and it has to be about them. And
Yeah.
every situation we need to, take into account like that. And even the same kind of thing that you're saying, like if the things that we're talking about, if you're saying, I'm afraid to have spirituality and tap into faith and things that might be inside of me, or channels that can open because I might find demons on the other side, or something that I'm scared of, or what if I don't want to talk to angels and then they start talking to me, or whatever those fears are, examine them, write about it, do some journaling, and just start saying like, well, what's the worst that could happen to me if I do see a demon? What could they possibly do to me? Or let's get all my fears out on paper. What's the worst that could happen if I do hear an angel talking? Or what if they give me instructions and then I have to follow it? And what if, just look at everything that's in there. Look at all your fears, and start deeply looking at, other people in empathetic ways and compassionate ways, especially if you see yourself having a judgment coming up. Like
Right.
you were, the example you were saying, like people that have money, why are they even stressing? Why would they be stressing? They should just be in this bubble of bliss and be helping the world and have no problems or issues. They already have their money taken care of. What else? That should be, the basics for the rest of everything, to just be happiness and doing whatever they want with their life. But we don't see that. So examining yourself in that situation, and like, why am I judging this, that people with money should be happy? And where's my trauma? Where's my growing edges on this? Where's my judgment? Where's my lack of compassion, and where should my compassion be? And if I really don't understand the life of someone who has a lot of money that isn't happy, maybe I should go make a relationship with someone that has that and ask them about their life and why they're unhappy and why money isn't helping them, and really be able to get in their shoes and see, but maybe also help them at the same time. Help them to understand how you found bliss with no money and that it doesn't matter to you, and can help along their path a lot. So we suffer
Exchange
from lack of
perspectives.
connection. Yeah.
That's the medicine. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Wow, I think that's really great. And thank you for sharing your perspective on that. You guys go home, learn some compassion, learn to be empathetic, open that heart space. We're going to be now, speaking of compassion and heart space, we're going to go ahead and tap into that love energy and do the midweek collective energy check in. Miranda, don't go anywhere. This reading may apply to you as well and for you guys at home. So let's check what the forecast is for the midweek. All right, we're starting off here with Dorothy from the Golden Girls Tarot deck. You guys know it's my favorite deck. She is lying right there on her lounge chair with the Four of Swords directly next to her, which is telling us it is time to rest. We've been doing so much, pushing so hard, doing all the things. Are you burning the candle on both ends? If you are, this message is for you. It's time to take a little rest, because within that rest, we can then create clear vision. Action will be very close at hand with this ego energy card, who can soar above the normal obstacles of our day-to-day life and have foresight, see the bigger picture, see the beyond, see the forest for the trees, right? It has that ability to scope into that energy and then be able to take action when it needs to without you misusing any energy. We have the shaman card. Excuse me. Trust in the higher forces. And this feels like what this whole this whole show was about tonight, was trusting in that which is greater than yourself to lead you to that point and place without having to know all of the twists and turns, and recognize that your thoughts actually create your reality. So what you are thinking is what you are manifesting, is what you are attracting. Your emotional energy is a beacon that attracts more of that. So ensure that you're keeping a positive mindset, peaceful and tranquil sense of being, so that way you can manifest what it is that you're truly desiring, what your inner being truly is desiring at this moment. And I am elated to see this card because it is in alignment with the message I got earlier about I felt like I was going into success and that I was seeing the accomplishment of a goal. You're very close to achieving your goal with the Gibbous Moon card here. This is why this time of rest is fine, because we're about to push through and then we're about to have to get back and do some more work. Work is never ending, but reprieve and time for rest is needed so that we can be our best selves. Energetically, everything is moving, or you may be physically moving. That's dependent on your particular situation with this butterfly card. So there's change afoot. We have spring heralding all of the new beginnings right around the corner. Things come together in the spring. So we become more aligned in the spring. We start moving in new directions. So be in a space where you're surrendering and allowing, so that way you can also move in that direction. And so that is our midweek collective energy check-in. Miranda, any 1 minute thoughts on this reading?
I'd say it's very relevant to everything that we're talking about right now. The four again, the eagle, and being able to see the bigger perspective, shaman, and listening to that, higher source energy for everything that we do. But it's all about healing and returning to your most whole self and how you can be in your spiritual mission the most.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of spiritual mission, Miranda, what do you want to let people know at home they can contact you for, and how they can work with you or support your mission?
Yeah. My personal website is actually down right now, but it'll be back up in about a month. And that's just at mirandaclendenning.com, which is just a collection of the courses I have, the videos, the podcasts, and everything that I do, and how to contact me for transformational work, that kind of thing. But In the meantime, before that's up, you can contact me through a new project that I'm starting called Spiritual Playmates. So it's spiritualplaymates.com. You can go on there right now and take our survey about what kind of playground you would like to see for spiritual people. In the United States, 29% of us identify as spiritual but not religious. But because we don't go to church or kind of have a home for that, it's hard for us to find each other and to feel like we have community. So this site starts with an in-depth survey on what your spiritual life is like and what truth texts you study and what disciplines you do and what you're drawn to and gurus you study under and all that kind of stuff, and then helps have a matchmaking engine to match you to other people that are similar to you. And we'll be putting on events in the future. There will be community forums and even a dating site on there as well. So you can find me there. If you push the contact button on spiritualplaymates.com, you will get straight into my inbox. I also am one of the directors of unify.org, as I mentioned. So you can always contact us at support@unify.org and get a hold of me there. Follow us at facebook.com/unify. We have about 100 million in reach per month on that site. And we cover everything from women's empowerment to helping with water issues. World Water Day is this month. We're doing a Go Play event where we're encouraging everybody to go out and play all over the world on March 21st. We have huge things going on for Earth Day next month in April. We do Peace Day as well. So there's a lot going on there, but you can find me any of those places.
And it was such a delight to finally having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdoms with us and having this talk. It's always a pleasure to see your face, and I'm looking forward to working more with you, ma'am. And so we're going to wrap up this episode with my final thoughts on Miranda's story. And of course, we're going to do that con mucho amor. Do you or someone you know experience something supernatural that has left a positive impact on yourself or the lives of others? Want to share your story on our show? Please email Divine Encounters at e360tv.com. And together, let's create divine experiences. And now, the Oracle's final thoughts con mucho amor. You know what's interesting is that I caught myself. When Miranda said she was having these beautiful experiences in these higher realms. And I caught myself go, man, I wish I had those beautiful experiences. Be careful of comparison, because it might lead you down a rabbit hole of why me or why not me. Everybody's unique footprint is for them. And speaking of footprints, be extra mindful on the ones that you're creating for those who are following through after you have gone. Thank you, everybody, for watching this show. Go forward and encounter more. I dare you. And above all else, may you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Ciao.
Everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you. Don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just hold on. Just hold on.